In his office, Drew speaks with Martin about Willow's case in hopes that it can be turned around and get Willow her kids back. Martin tells Drew that he's read over the judge's ruling in the case notes, and there is little room for appeal. They'll only lose again, which will devastate Willow a second time. They walked all over Michael's rights as a father, which is why they lost the case. Drew still doesn't understand how the judge ruled in Michael's favor. Martin says it's not the norm, and shared custody is usually the outcome in these types of cases. He tells Drew that Michael isn't cruel, and with time, Michael will likely let Willow into the children's lives again. Drew isn't sure, as Michael has made it clear as long as he's around, that won't happen. Drew also knows he's been painted the pariah who cost Willow everything. If he takes Scout, relocates to D.C., and exits Willow's life for good, then perhaps Michael would give Willow access to her kids. He is starting to wonder if Willow would be better without him. Maxie sets Lulu straight. Lulu shows up at Maxie's place, and is shocked that Maxie invited her over, let alone is still talking to her, as she may be the only person left who is. Maxie says she's been in her shoes before, meddling in others' personal lives. Lulu says Gio knows the truth now and has a huge family who loves him. She doesn't really think she did anything wrong. However, Maxie points out that Lulu went against a dying woman's wish and blew up Joe's memories of his mother. She tells Lulu this was not her secret to tell, but Lulu feels she was in the right, as she knows what it's like to have the secret about a child being kept from you. She doesn't mean to make Maxie feel guilty about Georgie, and says, unlike Britt and Valentine, she didn't break the law in keeping a child from their parent. Maxie asks Lulu to put herself in Brooklyn's shoes. Lulu says she's been doing that, but Maxie isn't so sure. Maxie gets frank and says that for everyone to heal and move forward, Lulu needs to take accountability for her part in what happened. Maxie points out that Brooklyn's relationship with her mother and grandmother will never be the same after this. Lulu says it's not her fault, as Lois and Gloria are the ones who lied. Brooklyn isn't giving up. At the Coeur d'Alene mansion, Brooklyn takes a call from Maxie. Maxie says she needs to work from home due to her kids and asks Brooklyn to meet at her place. Brooklyn is happy to. She then tells Tracy she's headed to Maxie's place to do some work for deception. Tracy is glad, as it should take her mind off other matters, like her ill-conceived vendetta against Lulu. Brooklyn makes it clear she's let nothing go, and if anyone other than Lulu had attacked her or her son, Tracy would be ready for war to defend her family. Tracy admits she's not wrong, but she and her friends just want her to heal, and constantly thinking about revenge isn't good for her. Maxie sets a trap. Back at Maxie's, Brooklyn arrives, spots her nemesis, and immediately accuses Lulu of scheming and using Maxie to get her here today. Maxie says she is the one who schemed on her own to pull this off, and this feud needs to end because it affects more than them. It's affecting people they love. Maxie points out that Tracy loves them both. Dante is the father of both their children, and it is only a matter of time before this fighting begins affecting Gio and Rocco's relationship. Lulu admits she didn't think about the long-term effects this would have. Maxie suggests that putting their anger aside may show Gio, Rocco, and Dante that they can move forward too. Brooklyn agrees to accept Lulu's apology for her son and Rocco's sake. Lulu scoffs that she's not apologizing to her, and the only person she owes an apology to is Gio. She says she isn't sorry for what she did to Brooklyn, and she never will be. Marco meets with his mother. At Alexis' office, the lawyer sits in with Marco when he has a complicated matter involving his family. Natalia arrives and wonders why she's been summoned. Marco wants to discuss her arrest. Natalia notes that she could have used his help yesterday, but Marco only got her message this morning. Natalia says the DA has offered her a deal, which Alexis advises against taking without counsel. Marco wants to help her, and Natalie says Sidwell can't know any of this. They sit down, and Natalia says this isn't her first DUI, so this one will carry a heavy sentence. The deal is for her to turn over everything she knows about Sonny. Alexis has to recuse herself as Sonny is Christina's father. Marco apologizes to Alexis, as he had no idea this had to do with Sonny. Once alone, Natalia fills Marco in that the DA wants her to turn in information via drive-through safety box today. He tells her not to do that until he meets with the DA. He asks if Sonny knows about any of this, and Natalia lies and says he doesn't. Marco knows the two of them have a bad history, but he would never see her hurt, and her life is in danger. Natalia insists Sunny would never hurt her. Tracy has a task for Alexis. Alexis stops by to see Tracy at the mansion and is not sure why she asked her over. Tracy says that as Scout's grandmother, Alexis has rights in the state of New York, so she needs to sue Drew for custody of the girl. Alexis admits she's thought of it, but Drew loves his daughter, and Sam trusted Drew as a parent. She says Scout's life has been upended enough, and she doesn't want to add more chaos to it. Alexis reminds Tracy that if Willow and Drew leave for DC, they'll take Scout, which also disrupts the girl's life. She tells Tracy to find a new way to get back at Drew without using her granddaughter. Tracy lets the idea go, and then rants about how Drew framed her for drugging him with ketamine. She asks Alexis what can be done about that. Alexis says if that is true, and she is innocent, the only way this case will move forward is with Drew's testimony and cooperation. She suggests she apologize, beg, and grovel to Drew, as her fate is in Drew's hands.